Happy Fragrant Friday, Fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you indeed with a new review. You know, this is the channel, of course, that welcomes you to your weekend. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying positive during the incredibly long, seemingly never-ending pandemic in which we are. So, and if you're watching this, of course, and it's not a Friday, always remember, it's always Friday here at That Cologne Guy. You've seen the title and the description, so you know, of course, that I am checking out. I'm money, okay? Let's just be honest. I've got to show the brand. I've got a sample, mind you, of Creed Virgin Island water. So, a lot going on here. I was out on vacation in the Bay Area, and I was looking for and eventually found Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo, and I'll be reviewing that one. I've been looking for that one, been waiting to get that one for quite some time. And so I walked into Saks Fifth Avenue, and I asked the reps where if they had Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo, and they said no. And then as I got closer, I noticed that they were Creed reps, and so I was very clear in my intention. I said I was on vacation. I was only looking for one fragrance that day. I was in a vacation attire. I mean, when you wear shirts like Scooby-Doo and things like that, you pretty much declare to the world that you are not the target audience for Creed. That said, they could not have been nicer. We sat actually and chatted for quite some time, actually, and I wanted to give them a shout out and say thank you to them. Very kind. And so if you are in the Bay Area, make sure you go to Saks Fifth Avenue to get your Creed, and that is Pablo and Rafael. Very, very nice, very helpful, accommodating. Especially since I was looking for a different fragrance, and we sat and chatted for quite some time. I have a few samples, and the first one is, of course, Virgin Island water. So again, a shout out to them. Thank you so much. Very kind. So, with that being said, let's take a look at Virgin Island water. Before I dive into the notes, let me just very, very quickly say, welcome aboard. Yet again, since last week, we have had an explosion of new subscribers, and I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for always subscribing and checking out and supporting my channel. If you do like the content, please send it on to fellow fragheads. I'm very excited because the last episode I did, which was Bocanera by Orto Parisi, was the highest average view that I've ever had. So people really stuck around for that one, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. So when it comes to Virgin Island water, and the notes are, well, there are many notes, of course, in Fragrantica. Here are the ones that I got, and I'm going to add one that a lot of people don't talk about enough, in my opinion. Of course it's lime, and of course it's a delicious coconut. That goes without saying. Then you get into things like, though, when I sprayed this, I actually get, after a while, a fair amount of ginger. So for those of us who like l'homme, not that it smells like it, because it doesn't, but you do pick up a very attractive ginger that meshes well with the coconut and the lime here. And I don't think ginger gets enough love in this fragrance. So lime, definitely the main player is coconut. Then you get, after that, ginger. And then I had mandarin. And then you get musk. And so here's the good. Should we do the good, the bad, the ugly? Should we do that one? Actually, I mentioned Green Irish Tweed, which was Clint Eastwood. Okay, so I guess we should do, in his honor, we need to do the good, the bad, and the ugly. Come on. So here is, let's start off with the ugly. Do we have to? But okay, the ugly, of course, is the price tag. The ugly is, and they just upped their prices even more. So for once, I'm gonna boo them instead of booing myself. How's that? So $350 for 50 milliliters. And I totally concede, by the way, I understand clearly that they're using raw or almost all raw materials. I understand that they are using the finest materials. I understand that they have a personal relationship with the people who are sending and giving them and selling them these materials. I understand that, and I want to tip my cap, of course, and pay homage to their traditional method of perfumery. That said, for a lot of us, if you have a lot of us who have ballet payments for our children, $350 for 50 milliliters, 1.7 ounce is just a tad pretentious to me. That is, I'm a little lukewarm on that. Even if it were a 200 milliliter or even a 100 milliliter, I could probably even see that. But 350 is quite steep. Now, I know you can get that a little bit cheaper at other places. That is the Creed boutique. That said, though, it's supply and demand. People absolutely love this house. They love these fragrances. And so the prices just keep on going up. So that is the ugly. When it comes to the bad is the first 30 minutes. And I'll tell you why. The first 30 minutes, people who love this fragrance absolutely love it, are not going to like to hear this, but it is my review, okay? Keeping it real like I always do. I have to tell you, it really does smell like sunscreen the first 30 minutes. It really does. I had just a little bit left. I mean, it really does. I just sprayed right before I started recording, and it still smells exactly like sunscreen. The first 30 minutes. So if you want to boo me and you're about ready to leave a comment against that, hold on, because that's just the first 30 minutes. Okay, so here's the good. The good is this. After 30 minutes, the ginger and the musk and other notes start coming to the forefront, enough that the sunscreen element really dissipates after 30 minutes. It really does. So then it becomes just this off-the-charts sublime fragrance that I absolutely love. In fact, again, the proof is in the proverbial pudding, because I used every drop of this except for right before I started recording. I had just a tiny amount just so I could smell it one last time. So that tells you I really, really enjoyed it. After 30 minutes, sunscreen element goes down, and then the mixing of the mid and the base notes really come to the forefront, and you get more of the ginger and the musk and rum. You get rum. It's just very, very, I would even say delicious. It's just sublime. So the smell itself is absolutely fantastic, especially for me after the first 30 minutes. Another good is, this really is the perfect marriage. Well, I guess I have 4 or 5 things to say, so that wouldn't be a marriage, would it? The perfect combination. How's that? The perfect combination of summer, pleasant, compliment getting, with a little asterisk, sexy. So what I love about this fragrance is this is something that would garner compliments. It is something that people would also find very, very sexy. It's something that could be worn. It's definitely summer. That's not even a question. I guess the question would be, is it more of an indoor, outdoor? It's just so great that you could pull this off anywhere. I just think this is perfect for the high heat. In fact, you guys know, more good news, you see? You guys know that for once, I'm actually sampling a fragrance in the right season. So we are right now at about 95 degrees and 99% humidity. And I wore this week. And I've mentioned this before, but I'm coming in and out a lot, indoor, outdoor, doing some stuff inside, sitting down. I'm also taking walks outside. And this is, we're in the 90s with 99 to 100% humidity. So, and I by nature I sweat a lot. So a lot of fragrances will vastly dissipate when you do that. So it's almost like they're fragrances for people who really only work indoors and stay indoors for those 8 hours. I don't really care for that. More good news, as I said, because this one actually held up quite well when it came to whether or not I was either indoors or outdoors, going on walks, etc., etc. So I'm very pleased with the versatility of this fragrance within, of course, the summer season. But you could wear this to the office. You could wear this on a vacation. You could wear it to the beach. Of course, it's Virgin Island water, and appropriately named. And then you could also wear this whether or not you're indoors or coming in and out of the outdoors. That took me too long to say. Okay, so that is the good. Now let's get to the longevity and sillage and projection. Projection for me with Creeds is just it's moderate. It's not Interlude Man by Amouage. It doesn't just stick to my skin, but it's definitely a moderate projection and nothing more. So I would say maybe up to an elbow's length away for moderate projection, and especially in the first 3 to 4 hours. Then from 4 to 6 it dissipates. So longevity for me is, I'm going to put this at a 5 to 6. And I would say if you wear it on your clothes, or you have a regular bottle and just can spray, the atomizer just gives you more in each blast. I can say that you could get 6 to 8 out of this fragrance, especially if you use a body lotion, things like that, and then spray on top of it. You could squeeze out a work shift with this fragrance. So we're gonna say closer to 6, though. For me, it was definitely more along the lines of 5 to 6, but we could squeak out and make it barely to the 8-hour mark. Sillage is going to be very strong. Well, possibly, unfortunately, it's going to be very strong in the first 2 to 3 hours. But again, that's going to be when the sunscreen element is stronger. And then after the 3 to 4 hour mark, I don't know if you came in and out of rooms at a party. I don't know if people would be able to pick up your scent trail. Here's my impression of Creed. You guys can tell me. The Creed heads can help me here. When it comes to Creed, it seems like this is definitely more of the fragrance that is really about what I like on my skin, and I love how it smells. And if other people are able to smell it, so be it. That's great. That's wonderful. But that's not why I do this. Now, one counter argument to that is pretty much every guy on this planet under the age of 40 probably has a Ventus in their collection, or has had it at some point, because for that very reason they're trying to attract attention. So I guess we should say, other than Aventus, no, they have a very regal smell to them. They have a very there is an aura to Creed. There is a way it makes you feel. There's no doubt about it. When I smell these niche fragrances, I can totally see why people get snobby and move away from the designer fragrances that are going to smell exactly the same on everybody. For example, I got a fair amount of ginger in this fragrance. A lot of people have not noted that. And so the niche fragrances are going to interact with your skin a lot more because they use raw materials, or almost all. You're going to have batch codes and different years, and don't get this bottle and get that bottle, and it smells this way on me but not on you. Those are the things that niche folks love to talk about. So Virgin Island water will be no exception for you, because again, this really is an exploration, a journey in ways that you wouldn't necessarily see if you got Axe, for example. Okay, so there you have it. Now, again, I've talked about versatility. I mean, it's very. I think this is a compliment getter, and I think it's sexy. So I personally would choose this as an evening out weekend fragrance. That said, though, it's absolutely perfect for the office. It really has, this is the king of coconut. How's that? It reminds me slightly of Malibu rum. The days of rum and coke and Malibu rum. It is certainly something that would get noticed, and you could wear it to the office. I just personally see it more as, and I wouldn't wear this on a vacation, me personally, because I wouldn't want to, spend it on something where I'm out on a beach where no one's going to smell me rocking $350 juice. No way. So it's a very personal, sublime fragrance. Okay. All right, so I almost forgot the age. In my excitement to talk about Virgin Island water, I almost forgot about the age. This, to me, would be 20 to 39. And you know what I see? You know what I think? When I think of this fragrance, I think of Ibiza, right? I think of Spain, Europeans, and America, people all over the world on their vacation, spring break, whatever, and they go to Ibiza. And this is what I would wear. This is definitely 20 to 39. 40 and up can wear it, thank God, because I'm wearing it. I really, really love it. It is fantastic, but I think the target group here is going to be mostly people in their 20s and 30s. They're in Ibiza. They're dancing at 4 a.m. to techno. And they're rocking Virgin Island water on an island. Drop mic. So in terms of gender, I see this right down the pike. I've already mentioned that this is a unisex fragrance. I think in terms of, when I think of the people that I've seen reviews, etc., here's what I've noticed. I would probably say, what do you think? 65-35? I'd probably say 65% of people who actually wear this fragrance would be men and 35% women. But that's not to suggest that it isn't. I think that's because a lot of guys are wearing this because they're hoping that they're going to get a lot of compliments and attract and attention from the ladies. This is just a fantastic fragrance. It really is a unisex fragrance. But I would say people who I've seen that actually wear this, have reviewed it, talked about it, signature scent, favorite in their collection, etc., most complimented, etc., have been men. So we'll go 65-35, but there's nothing at all, anything here to suggest. In fact, it's got jasmine, it's got ylang ylang. There's nothing here that would sway it into a very masculine scent. It's just a very, very pleasant, sexy, bright, optimistic. All right, here we go. All right, so there you have it, folks. The only thing left to do is give the rating. Now, here's the thing. If you look at this, and if you hear a puppy drinking water, you would know that I seared through this. Now, granted, it's a sample, but I mean, that's always a good sign. I have had fragrances in sample form. I have a lot of samples, okay? I do a lot of reviews with samples, and I will have some that I specifically hold off and keep just enough for the review. And then I have some where I'm kind of laboring to get through it. And then I have some that just cap out very early. This is one of them. I really, really used a lot of it early on because I just love this. It's very addicting. It has a very addicting smell. The coconut, as I said, is not so much of the food. I hate coconut, for example, is in my food. I don't like this. This is more of like the coconut, the sweet smell of coconut, like you would see in Malibu rum. So if you're concerned about that element, don't be, because the coconut element really makes this fragrance. And again, as far as eating it, I detest coconut. I don't like it at all. So although I like coconut rum and I like Virgin Island water. So go figure. All right, so let's get to the rating. Now, when it comes to the rating, I have a couple things to look at. Number one is, if you look, I'm completely out of juice. Is that some? Actually, I have just a tad left. Maybe I'll be able to, maybe I won't need faux sprays when I put this on me. I'm almost out. I really used a lot. I love this fragrance. It smells fantastic. I would even use the word addicting. It has an addicting quality that something like Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme had for me initially. I love that one too. There are certain fragrances that you just find addicting, right? And you're walking around smelling your own wrist all day. This is one of them. Absolutely love the smell. Now, I'm going to go, so that's that. You think that'd be a 5. I also want to honor the way that it was crafted and using the traditional methods and fine raw materials, etc., etc. Certainly want to honor that. That said, I'm going to take off one spray, and I'm going to do one spray for 2 reasons, actually. It is a pretentious price tag. I know it's supply and demand. I know it's different, but $350 for 50 milliliters, 1.7 ounce, it doesn't merit that price for me. But it's close though. Like even 100 milliliters for $350 would be interesting, but we're getting into like what Vikings, like what $440 or something. That's just crazy money. And when you consider that it is being compared to a Bed Bath and Beyond, Body Shop, etc. type store body lotion, and or sunscreen in the first 30 minutes, or for some people throughout the duration of the fragrance, you have to take off another one. You have to consider it when you reduce it. So I'm going to go one spray. I know. She wants to give... You want to come in? All right. She wants to give a review too. So I'm going to go one spray. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 for Virgin Island water. Here, what do you make of it? Yep, no, she licked it. So that must mean she likes it. So we're going to go 4 out of 5. These are faux sprays though. And I will go, because I'm holding her, how about this? Why don't I go, I'll just go 1 on each side of the neck. And 1 on each wrist. They're faux anyway, so. Virgin Island water, 2007 release, unisex. A lot of fun, a little too expensive. Boom. 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 I know you can't quite see that. And boom. All right. There you have it. The puppy approves. It's puppy approved. What more can you ask for? 4 out of 5 sprays for Virgin Island water. So Creed, if you're watching, please reduce your prices. And if you do, call me because I would be interested. Thank you so much. Take care. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. So here's the situation with Creed. With me, I should say, I had 2 samples almost about 2 or 3 or 4 months before I started this channel. So I've actually never reviewed a Creed. So this is a special moment, okay? I know a lot of you guys really like Creed. So I had Green Irish Tweed, and of course, every list for fragrances that women like on men, number 1 is Aventus. So I got Aventus, of course. So Green Irish Tweed, Aventus, and I have to say, is in terms of just smell, I loved both. I probably liked Aventus a little bit more, but I really loved the smell of both of them. The problem that I had is that they were gone off my skin after about 2 to 3 hours. And because they're incredibly expensive, I'm sure you do know, but if you don't know, for example, Virgin Island water, I just checked on their website, on the creedboutique.com, is 50 milliliter, 1.7 ounces. Are you sitting down for this? No, go ahead. Take a seat. I know you're doing dishes. Take a seat. 50 milliliter, 1.7 ounce, 350 smackers. So because I don't have a second job, I basically didn't get those fragrances. I got the samples and that was it. I didn't get any compliments. I really liked them, but they were gone off my skin in 2 to 3 hours. Then when I was on Fragrantica more and more, people were saying, and you know where I'm going to go with this if you watch the channel, I'm just not a big fan of all the batch codes and get this year and don't get that, almost like it's a wine. It's just not my thing when it comes to ultra expensive fragrances. That said, in terms of just smell, wow, these fragrances have certainly been quite impressive. You guys know the deal is it's from, what do they say? From father, it's been handed down from father to son. Creed is since 1760 or 1780, around there, a long time. Okay, and so they also use either raw materials, and it's my understanding that if they use all raw materials, then they call it millesime, but you can correct me if I'm not using my terminology right. And if they don't, they use almost all raw materials. So what's really fun about Creed is that you can, when you listen to like Oliver Creed interviews and such, he'll talk about how they get their ambergris from, this guy off the coast of Sicily actually rowing a boat and scooping it up and putting it in. So we're talking about a very high-end company that uses an ultra-traditional way of perfumery. So a lot of people are incredibly attracted to this house simply because of that, coupled with the fact that, again, they smell fantastic.